All right, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live morning edition. Let's talk about what happened with the Giants game and that second game against the Reds.
Do we
Don't
have
want to
to?
spend, don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. That one was another stinker, 2 games in a row. But then we'll break down what's going to occur in today's games. But anyways, Glenn, you were at the game. Bats need to wake up, right? That's 2 games in a row. No runs scored.
We'll be
And
back
can't
to
win.
the old.
Hey,
We'll be back to old Giants baseball. We don't start getting the hits, Eric.
you
Last
can't
night,
win without scoring runs.
and you can't score runs without getting on base. Get some hits, boys. 4 hits, dude. This is the ironic part, and I'm sure you talked about it last night before I arrived late on the show because I was at the game. The irony that we get 4 hits, and 2 are from Schmidt. And 2 are from arguably a catcher who could be playing AAA baseball, dude.
Tough, yeah.
Where are the big bats?
Yeah, they fell silent, man. The last couple of games, they've fallen silent. Now, I'm not going to worry. I said it last night. It's April 8th when I was talking about that, and I was like, I'm not going to panic. But let's see what happens. Look, a lot of baseball left. The analogy I use is, hey, it's a racetrack. We're just out of the starting gate. We're not even to the first turn. If it was a horse race, so I'm not gonna worry too much. It's a marathon. The race will begin in September. We're talking about months away. So let's see what happens. They got time. They're still 8-3. They got a nice, comfortable win-loss differential, if you will. So let's see what happens.
Any chance we can sign Mike Schooler?
Yeah, maybe
the old '90s pitcher to come in and help us out, dude. We're getting good pitching. Decent pitching last night, but the thing is, these big bats, you're paying them to get hits, Eric.
That's it. Hey, the guys with the contracts, man, they got to show up, right? And granted, it's
Hats
early,
off.
so I'm not gonna overreact, but they need to hit.
Hats off to the crowd. You know what? They've really bought into the Jung Hoo Lee phenomenon. They're cheering him on. I don't know if television does it justice. You've been watching the tube because you're out of town. I'm at the game, dude. I'm surrounded by the fans at Oracle Park again last night, and it's just Jung Hoo Lee, Jung Hoo Lee.
Nice.
And there's just an aura. There's an aura around him right now, Eric. He's making plays in the field. His bat is not bad this year. He's batting close to 300, if not at that mark. So he is one of the bright spots. But, geez, they're hitting the ball hard, Eric.
Just finding gloves. Finding gloves.
Ball in play, and there were some bizarre plays last night. You saw the right fielder make. Was it Friedel or whatever his name was? It may have been acrobatic for lack of a better word, but he stole a double, maybe a triple from Ramos.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I tip my hat to him. Oh, speaking of tip my hat before the show, I'm wearing once a month, Eric. I pick one day on the show, and I wear my pink hat in support of breast cancer awareness. So here it is to all you moms, ladies, girls out there. We support.
All right, here we go. Here's the box score from last night. Got Cincinnati. They're now 5-7. Beat the San Francisco Giants 1-0. Now, it's not like Cincinnati was tearing it up. They barely got anything going. But Giants have fallen. I shouldn't say fallen. They're now 8-3. You got Cincinnati 1 run on 8 hits. San Francisco no runs on 4 hits. Again, it was a great defensive game. You got Casey Schmidt at first, who's not used to playing first, but he did some pretty good work out there. Threw a guy out at home. You got Huff, threw a guy out at second base. Yeah, so, as far as defense is concerned, it was there. But, again, it's just the bats.
There's where I'm going to correct you, Eric. You said a moment ago, they're not tearing the Reds weren't tearing the cover off the ball. I will give the credit to the Giants defense because Cincinnati had their fair share of runners on base. You just mentioned the throw.
Yeah.
Nice. What a nice – as soon as the runner broke for second – And he hasn't he's not got a great percentage for throwing out runners. I thought, oh no. But the sweep tag, Fitzgerald
awesome.
out, and a beautiful play. Beautiful play and an aggressive play by Schmidt at first base. And he mowed the runner down again. Huff, the combination there, got the runner at home plate. So
100%.
The fact that the Reds, you say they had runners on base.
They did.
The Giants were good at kind of limiting them. Mowed them down.
They couldn't use that momentum.
Yeah, cut them down to
go out
the
there.
pass. But the story of the game, Eric, we're getting into it now, is the batting.
Before that, Lodolo improves to 2-1. Look at that, sub-1 ERA. He's having a fantastic start of the season. Roop is 0-1. His ERA is 3.6, and Pagan comes in with the save. Here we go. Box score. Ramos.
Hey, before you get to the batters, here's a good question for us on Giant Sports Talk Live Morning Edition. You've just talked about the pitching and how Lodolo, night before, they had their ace
Hunter
going.
Green.
So I'm going to ask you, Eric. Maybe give me an aggressive answer. Are the bats silent because of the pitching, or is the pitching good because the bats aren't hitting?
Good question, man.
Chicken or the egg?
Man, the pitching has been pretty good. Lodolo has had a fantastic beginning of the season. Hunter Green, same thing. So look, you got to acknowledge that these guys are pitching really good. Again, Green had a few strikeouts, not a lot. I mean, he had 7. Lodolo only had 5, but again, getting weak contact. Balls are finding mitts. They are popping up. The Giants are popping up a lot. So again, maybe they're just missing it. That happens, man. That happens. And it's baseball. Look, there's times where you could just have an absolute horrid week of baseball. The next week you're coming out in your gangbusters. So you just don't know. That's the beauty of the game. You just don't know. It's so random sometimes. You got a round object, the bat, hitting a round object, the ball, and it's not easy, man. And when you make contact, sometimes you just don't know where that ball may go.
Well, it's not easy unless you're using we'll talk about the bats another day. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the batting order and start things off.
Yeah, Ramos 0-4 with 1 strikeout and a walk. Adames 0-4 with 3 strikeouts. That was ugly. Yep. He made up for more than half of the strikeouts for the team. Lee 0-4. That's rare to see Lee 0-4.
He was 0-4, but I'll tell you what, the fans love him, Eric.
Yeah, but look at that middle of the lineup. Lee, Chapman, Flores, Matos, all 0-4, and none of them took a walk, and none of them struck out. So they're making contact, just they turned into outs.
Look at the top 3. All right, top 6, Eric.
Yeah,
I see goose eggs all the way down there, buddy.
I'm just saying, these guys, well, not so much Ramos, but Adames was striking out a lot. The other guys were just couldn't find grass, man. They couldn't find grass. Schmidt, again, we talked about it, had a nice double down the left field line, had a nice single going opposite field late in the game. And then, of course, he played some really good defense there at first base. Fitzgerald, 0-4. Again, he needs to start showing something. That's a guy that has to show something. Wade came in, didn't do much. Huff had a good night, had a multiple hit game there. Our catcher kind of was dogging on him a few days ago because it's like, man, you have him up for his bat, and his bat hasn't been doing much. So it was nice to see him get a couple of hits. And then Koss was a pinch runner, and Bailey, I think, if I'm not mistaken, came in towards the
Eric, you and I seem to have a debate about this early on in the season, but I'm telling you, get back up there. Get back up there, Bill Miner. All right, look at that. I still say, unless you turn this around, you cannot field a team with guys batting 179, 114, 154, 148. You better turn that around.
Oh, I will. They will. I'm not even stressing about it. Not yet. There will be a time if it's like that later in the season, then it's time to go. All right.
And just in a pair of games against Cincinnati, because we're early and you got a small sample size of at-bats, Wilmer's batting average has dropped about 40 points in
it has
2 games.
Exactly. And if he keeps it up, he's going to be sitting around the 200 mark as well. So,
dude,
yeah, got to do something.
Already there.
I know.
I'm just worried because I'm sitting in the ballpark last night, Oracle, looking at the board. We got 2 hits at one point, middle of the game, 2 hits. And I'm like, I had too many occasion to be here last year and go home when I saw, 1 run on 3 hits, no runs on 4 hits. I go, I do not want to see a repeat of last year. And we lose, 5-4. We're in a game, Eric. Quite frankly, it was a close game again tonight, pitcher's duel. Quite frankly, I didn't think we deserved it. We didn't deserve a win. We didn't deserve a win last night, so it didn't matter.
Yeah,
and when they had that little rally in the 9th inning 2 nights ago, we had a nice rally. The fans were all –
yeah, they did.
It started with 2 outs. Too little, too late.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need consistency,
we'll see.
All right? Consistency.
Yep.
There you go.
So let's see what happens. Again, we're just in the early part of April. Let's see where this takes us. All right, pitching. Here we go. Roop, look at that. You had Webb go 7 innings. The night before, Hicks, how many did he go? 5 or 6? Something like that. Roop goes 6, allowed 7 hits, had 4 strikeouts, but he only had 1 earned run. Birdsong had an excellent outing with 3 innings pitched, only allowed 1 hit, had 2 strikeouts.
So got his first K in relief.
Look at that. He, or I should say, the pitching is keeping the team in the rain. Yesterday, Look, I mean, Webb went 7 with no runs. Roop only allowed 1 run and 6. Come on, man. You got.
I like what I saw from Birdsong. He just for a young guy, he commands some presence on the mound. And you know what I
He
thought?
does.
Well, here's my thought on him last night, Eric. I was sitting in, and I had a beautiful seat right behind the dugout last night. So I was up close and personal with the guys. And while I watched him on the mound last night, I thought, all right, here's a guy. He's just in his second, not even his second full year, Eric, of Major League Baseball. And I thought, dude, if he continues to pitch like this,
he's going to be in a rotation soon.
He could have either that, or if they want to make him a reliever and eat 2 innings each time out, and he continues to pitch like this, he could be setting himself up for a nice career as a reliever.
Yeah, we'll see. He's young enough to where they don't think they have to. Usually when you're 23, yeah, you're going to want him to be a pitcher. If he can't show it.
You know what, Eric? Maybe they keep him around on the roster. He's around a big league ball club, and he's still getting some innings.
Hey, again, maybe it sets him up for later this year.
They could pop him in the lineup too. You know what? Again, it's a lot different last year when we saw Farhan pulling the string. Like he was like a puppeteer bringing guys up. So what happens if they need a last-minute start? Hey, Bird, you're starting tonight. Dude,
do that.
They've got options this year.
They do. Absolutely. All right, let's get into today's pitcher, I should say,
let's go.
schedule, so to speak. The card,
I'll just have time to make the bacon and eggs, dude. I'll be putting on the TV for Pittsburgh Pirate baseball.
Yeah, look at that. You got the Cardinals at Pittsburgh. Got Eric Fetty going for the Cardinals. Mitch Keller will be taking the ball for the Pirates.
For us, that game's getting underway in about an hour and 15 minutes. That's early, buddy. Holy cow. This lifestyle on the West Coast killing me. Miami's in New York. Max Mayer up against Tyler McGill. Now, Tyler's a great pitcher. We'll see how that one shakes up. I really don't know much about Max Mayer yet, Eric, but we'll see how that one shakes out over there in Flushing.
And if you've got Prime Video, you'll be able to watch this game, 10 a.m., New York Yankees. Oh, it's a 4-game. So here we go. Detroit's already taken 2 games. I think the New York has only taken 1.
Who's pitching for Detroit, Eric?
Jack Flaherty.
Flaherty.
Max Fried, the big acquisition for the Yankees in the offseason, is going to go for the Yankees. So that should be a pretty decent pitching matchup. Let's see if Detroit beats them, man. They win the series against New York, man. And then, of course, New York will have a day off because that will be the next team that the Giants will face after tomorrow. So they'll begin that long 10-game road trip. So it's going to be interesting.
Another nice pitching matchup. Tyler Mahle and Shota Imanaga. That will feature Texas at Chicago in an 11-20 start. The A's, and I'm not calling them Oakland anymore, picked up their first win last night, Eric, in Sacramento.
Yeah, we got the Padres taking on the A's. A nice afternoon game. Should be beautiful there in the Valley. Randy Vasquez going for the Padres and Osvaldo Bido going for the A's. He's been pretty decent, so we'll see how he works out. Shota Imanaga, to talk about it before, he's been having a great start of the season. Let's see if he can shut down the Texas Rangers because they've been playing some pretty good baseball. All right, Arizona.
Is it Imanaga or Imanaga?
I don't know.
All right, Baltimore in Arizona. Early afternoon game, 12:40 start. Dean Kramer up against Brandon Pfaadt. I really don't care about that one. I'm more interested in that Giant game. We already talked about what they did last night. Let's finish off with the Giants, Eric. So Landon Knack, he's back for the minors. I believe he's going tonight for L.A.
Wow, that's another guy that they're having to go to. They had a weird guy go yesterday, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
A lot of guys are just pooped out. They went to visit the president the other day,
I don't know about that. I thought they had
the White House, so maybe the travel, the jet lag.
I thought their rotation. I don't know. Dodger fans are going to have to chime in on the.
It was nasty yesterday.
Yesterday. For the Dodgers, you got Landon Knack taking the ball. Starting pitcher for the Washington Nationals is going to be Jake Irvin. So let's see what happens. Again, Washington has already won the series, if I'm not mistaken, against the Dodgers, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I won't be in for the show tonight. So, guys, if you're like me, I'll at least be tuning in while I'm traveling. I'll be on the phone watching Eric's show. Eric, you drop us some notes on that L.A. Why they're going to they went with a minor.
I need to find out.
Guy. Landon Knack was sent down after the first game. Remember the series over in Japan? Then they sent Knack down to the minor. He's back 2 in a row. This is really bizarre.
Maybe it's because of the Snell injury, but I don't know. Whatever.
That could be, but back to back. I never even heard of the guy yesterday. And as far as fantasy, he may have set an all-time stinker record because he gave up too many runs early. We won't get into that. Houston at Seattle, they renew acquaintances. That's an early afternoon. You can tell for a lot of these teams, there'll be days off tomorrow because look at those schedule. Early starts, getaway day.
It's
Houston
getaway
at
days.
Seattle, Hunter Brown, and which Castillo, Eric?
The F.
Luis F. Castillo.
Luis
That was
Luis
in Seattle.
Effin Castillo.
There you go. Well, it depends if you beat him or not. We'll leave that up to interpretation.
All right, and then we'll have another cold one, I'm guessing, in Cleveland because it was pretty cold yesterday. From
Supposed
what
to be
saying.
like less than 40 degrees there today.
That's nuts. Chicago White Sox. Sean Burke going to go for the Sox. For the Guardians, Logan Allen will take the ball. Yeah, should be fun there in Cleveland.
Yeah, and when you're playing ball in Cleveland in April, you get a cold day. We saw it yesterday, Eric. Only 5 combined hits in the contest. So expect tough pitchers battle again today. I'd hate to be the batter. You know what happens when you try to hit a 100-mile fastball or 98-mile-an-hour fastball in that cold weather, dude? You got bees in your hand for 3 days.
So it'll sting.
Toronto, they beat Boston yesterday. I think they blanked them, Eric, if memory serves me correct. And they're throwing Kevin Gausman, our old San Francisco Giant buddy. Kevin Gausman. He lives in Toronto, and he's on the road today at Fenway Park in Boston up against Tanner. Is it Houck? I never know how to say that one.
Houck.
Tanner H. today over at Fenway Park, 3:45.
And then you got the Angels facing off against the Rays in Tampa Bay. The Angels are playing some pretty damn good baseball, guys. Maybe keep an eye on them. Yeah, interesting. Again, it's early. Let's see what they do. I know Mike Trout has been having a hell of a season as well. Yusei Kikuchi is going to go for the Angels against former Dodger Ryan Pepio. Will go for Tampa Bay. Should be fun there in the Sunshine State.
There you go. Oh, be nice to, dude. You think it's nice in the Bay Area? Imagine living down in Florida. Anyway, Philadelphia is in Atlanta. Taijuan Walker. How old's that guy? He's been pitching for a while. Grant Holmes. That's on the MLB Network. You can fire up the old Fire Stick, or maybe on your, some of these TVs have all that, paraphernalia attached to it. I don't know how to work it. I just know the on-off button and the flipper. Philadelphia and Atlanta, that was a 4:15 start. I was telling Eric in the show last night. Now, rumor says that JT Realmuto, he's off to a terrible start. Apparently, he crazy glued his fingers to his thumb. He had a little skin problem with that. Well, check that out. Maybe Eric will, maybe he'll poo-poo on that and prove me wrong coming up on the show tonight, 8 o'clock. Minnesota, Kansas City, always a great day there, Eric and Casey.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Joe Ryan's a good pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. Haven't been playing very good ball, but again, early. Kansas City, Seth Lugo, he was our ace last year. Let's see how he does against the faltering Minnesota Twins. Maybe he'll have a good outing. We'll see.
I'm no weatherman, so I don't keep a close eye on the weather, but it can get cold in Colorado too, Eric. I wonder what the weather will be like there today. Milwaukee up against the Rockies. Tyler Alexander and Antonio Senzella, whatever the hell his name is, the pitcher for Colorado versus Tyler Alexander. That one is a 5:40 start. All right, Eric, tonight. All right, take 2. All right, Eric, today, 12:45 start. It's your San Francisco Giants hosting Cincinnati, needing a win with Verlander.
Yeah.
He fell the other day on the weekend against Seattle. Let's see if he can bounce back. We can't get swept today, Eric.
No, can't get swept. Verlander's got to go out there and he's got a deal. Again, I don't know what people are asking in the chat. What do I expect of Verlander? I don't know. He had a good outing. His first outing, his second outing, he went 2 1/3. So I don't know. He's going to be hopefully closer to what he was like in his opening game, so to speak. So Let's see what happens. But if they did, the Giants, hey, let's get them some run support, man. They go out there, reset, and go out there and do what you do and get some hits and score some damn runs so you can stay in the damn game. Nick Martinez, look, he gave the Giants some fits. He went like 5 perfect innings, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there, right? In Cincinnati. So let's see what happens. Giants bats need to wake up.
There you go. That's all I was going to say. Got it. Maybe there's going to be a lot of hits today because there's been no hits in the bat since they opened up this series, Eric. So let's see what happens today. It's an afternoon game. Apparently it's going to be a beautiful 71-degree afternoon at Oracle Park. I won't be with you tonight, Eric, but I'll be there in spirit. Not even running late. I'm just not showing up tonight, buddy. But I should see on Saturday, if you're on Saturday, Hot Corner Sunday. Whenever I show up, I'll be back. I look forward to it, Eric. I'm going to be watching your show tonight. I wish you luck. I always love baseball with you. Love doing the show with you. And again, I'm wearing my pink hat and support breast cancer research today. Make sure you think about those ladies, your loved ones, your mom, grandmom, all those ladies out there, and support it as well. Eric, take us on home.
All right, man. Let's get a win out there, Giants. Come on, let's go. We'll see you guys tonight at 8, somewhere around 8:30, somewhere around there. Be good. Enjoy your day. See ya.